are torqued to 70 foot-pounds.
To finish up the crank install, we need to prep the rear main seal retainer. A little bit of Loctite on the bolts threads and some silicone on the side seals. It's ready to go in. After easing it into place, we can lock it down by torquing it to 30 foot-pounds. Last but certainly not least is the crank's end play. Now the factory range is from 2 to 7 thousandths. This one checks in at a comfortable 5 thousandths. We're back at it, and our leaning tower of power is ready for more parts. Now it's time to prep the piston and rod assemblies. First, make sure the dots on the rings are facing the top of the piston. Second, the ring gaps need to be clocked so they do not align. Now, if those rings do align, you can get excessive blow-by, which causes crankcase pressure and makes the engine smoke out of the breather. Now, that's also going to make you second-guess your assembly procedure. Here's some quick tech. The rings rotate on the piston as the engine runs at an average rate of 6 RPM. That's caused by the crosshatch angle in the cylinder. Now, a piston ring is unique in that it is a reciprocating seal, so it must move freely, independent of the piston, to operate properly. These are stock replacement cast pistons from Sealed Power that are for a 40 thousandths overbore. Now, the ring pack is also from Sealed Power and is a stock configuration.
Almost all OEM pistons have a notch in the top which faces the front of the engine, the reason being the wrist pin boss is offset in the piston. Here's why they do this. Offsetting the wrist pin towards the major thrust side of the engine keeps the piston from making noise on cold startup. Factories have always done this so the consumer doesn't hear a slight clicking sound of the piston skirt in low ambient temps. The rods are riding on King non-coated bearings and will be torqued to 40 foot-pounds using extreme pressure lube. Now it's time for the solid flat tappet bump stick from Comp Cams. It's a single pattern with 220 degrees of duration at 50 thousandths lift and has 440 thousandths valve lift on the intake and exhaust. The lobe separation angle is 110 degrees.
Ordered from Summit Racing, a stock replacement timing set will make the connection between the camshaft and the crank. Now the 7/16 bolt is torqued to 35 foot-pounds. It's an easy installation. Just line up the timing marks and move on. We'll apply Loctite high-tack gasket sealant on the Fel-Pro gasket to help prevent leaks and allow it to stick to the block and stay in place. Followed by the oil slinger, which lubricates the chain. Now the cover can go on and is secured with ARP fasteners. To keep the crank snout and the inside of the balancer from galling when it is pressed on, a good practice is to apply Loctite anti-seize to the surfaces. It'll also make it easier to remove when the time comes.